This is a very difficult speech to make. I did find out about the fund a couple of days ago. And the speech is difficult because in life, there's an old phrase that what comes around goes around. But sometimes what comes around goes around, does it in a good way and not a bad way. Three of the clerks here went with me to Tuskegee, I think it was a month or two ago, to commemorate a monument there for children who suffered from polio. The monument is at a hospital where I spent a good bit of my own life. And I gave a speech there. And the speech was about how these black kids in the South could come to this hospital, first of all, and be admitted at all. Secondly, they could come to a hospital where the doctors would touch them. They could come to a hospital where the nurses would hug them. They could come to a hospital where the sheets on the beds were nice and white and the place was sunny and open rather than in a basement somewhere where people literally wanted to forget the kids. And I was one of those kids who had that advantage. And I've remembered it all my life. And when I spoke there in Tuskegee, I talked about it. I talked about the kids, unfortunately, who did not make it, and there were a lot of them. And I talked about myself. And I talked about how what that hospital gave me was dignity. Simple dignity. Well, even whether I survived or not, and I did, it gave me dignity. And when I heard about this, and I know I mentioned it to Marion, it was breathtaking, because I've often wondered, why am I here? Why did I live and the other kids didn't? What's my purpose? And I realized that through you, through your giving, establishing this fund, I've been able to give back to the doctors, the nurses, the people who gave those black kids 75, 80 years ago dignity. You've been able to give to the kids in Montgomery, these black families, and I know these black families, they are poor. Most of them are very, very poor. They don't have the transportation to get to Birmingham. And when the kids get sick, there is no one to provide them with dignity. And what goes around comes around. And I'm not a religious man, but it just seems odd that I would be there talking about someone giving me dignity, and here you're giving children like my daughter dignity, the ability to be treated here in Montgomery, Alabama, and their families, which is what happened in Tuskegee. As I said, it's an incredibly difficult speech, but it's true. And I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you.